I would say there's one pattern I see that is different, domestic in the U.S., particularly in the Silicon Valley compared to the rest of the world. And then I would like to perhaps highlight some similarity. I think the net is there's more similarity than this difference. The one major thing that is I think is different in the Silicon Valley is possibly because of this emphasis on speed. We tend to, in business, to be transaction-oriented. We look at project at a time, one transaction at a time, and so on. If you look into Europe and look into Asia, people tend to have a longer time frame, and they emphasize more on relationship. And relationship not only is dealing with the people part, but even the relationship between two entities. Even one is a supplier and one is a procurer. A relationship in that sense meaning a sequence of gives and take in multiple transactions. So you don't push the guy to limit every transaction and declare that's a win, right? So I feel that is that generally more inclination in domestic market and operations to kind of look at one project, one transaction at a time, right? So that is kind of the major difference. The similarity, I have only had the privilege to work in the scientific community when I was in the research and academia and environment, and then the high tech industry. So I can only speak in that narrow field. I say people are crazy. They work incredibly hard, right? And unreasonably hard, and to the point sometimes it's caused physical pain, Why? I always curious why. When I go to different places, they all do. It's not just the Silicon Valley. You go to Singapore, you go to Kobe, you go to Shanghai, you go to different places. So I talk to engineers. I like to, after the normal workout, you kind of just pick people's brain, have a beer, and so on. And I find that if I generalize why people work so hard, and of course there are people who don't, and I'm talking about when I talk to people who work so crazily hard. I find that there are only three common reasons, between a French engineer and East Coast U.S. engineers and a Silicon Valley engineers and a Japanese engineers. Is first, people fundamentally want to make an impact. They feel this thing that they spend all this energy on makes a difference. It makes a difference for the company. Most importantly, it makes a difference in our world out there. If you tell me that if I finish this thing, you can ship 1 million units, and they're all sitting in living rooms, and they feel proud. They feel good. They actually feel like there's an impact, right? So this impact, making an impact thing, is just very strong in at least in the industry that I work for. Second is people will work that hard only if they feel it's fun. Fun meaning not that particular moment that you really, really have to fix this thing. I'm only giving you 5 hours. Fun meaning that this is a general environment that I enjoy. I enjoy the colleagues, and I think they're smart and they're not obnoxious. And people, above me, below me, they are good people and so on, right? So they want to have fun. They want to have impact. They want to have fun. And finally, they want to be rewarded. Right, and reward can come in two forms. Of course, the first one is financial reward. I want to work so hard, company, go IPO the stock, and I want to get my mortgage paid down and so on. But the other part, it is less emphasized, but equally, maybe even more so, is they want to be recognized. They want to be heroes. In a very small sense, a pat in the back, an acknowledgement in a coffee talk, and they want to feel proud in front of their peers, right? And it goes back to all this dignity and things. So in a nutshell, I feel there are actually more similarity in those areas than difference in the area that I mentioned.